Hi, it's Megan Lorson. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss any of the content that I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be posting a lot more bridal hair related videos, even how to become a full-time bridal hair and makeup artist, how I became a full-time bridal makeup artist, also just my favorite products that I like to use, all things bridal. So if you're excited about watching those videos and learning about the bridal hair industry, bridal makeup industry, and how to do that more full-time, then keep on watching and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. So today I'm really excited. I'm going to be teaching you how to do a textured, sleek, low bun. So it's going to be very shiny. We're going to add a little bit of texture to the crown area and give her a beautiful twisted bun as pictured in the thumbnail. So let's get started. Okay, so I've already prepped her hair and I blew it out. And before I blew it out, I used a little bit of, hold on, let me grab it over here to show you. I blew her out with a little bit of the Paul Mitchell Invisible Wear Memory Shaper. I love this product because it leaves a really beautiful shine to the hair, but adds a slight bit of texture, and it's workable texture. So her hair's still very, I can comb through it, I can run my hands through it, but it just creates a nice starting foundation and a nice starting base for this look that I'm going to create. And also I am using the Elena doll from Luminous. I will link her in the description below if anyone is interested. She is gorgeous. And she's got a good amount of hair and it's fairly long, and I love working on her and using her. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is section her hair. So the first section is going to be starting right on the top of the head, and we're going to take it down just like the middle of the ear. And I'm going to take a zigzag part. So I'm zigzagging it so it's not going to be a perfectly even part. And the reason for that is because when I start adding and bringing this hair back into the back to incorporate it, it's going to blend and flow a lot nicer. And same thing on the other side. I'm going to take a zigzag section about middle of the ear, and we're going to bring that forward, and we'll work with the sides and the front later. Also, when I blow dried her hair, I used a round brush and tried to start her part kind of far up and bring it back. That way it creates some volume up here. So I'm just want to make sure that's even on both sides and make sure I have the same amount of hair going back from the crown area back all the way back. And because it has that memory shaper in the hair, like I said, it has that slight bit of texture. So as I'm like combing the hair back, it's staying in place. So if her hair was super heavy or silky, it normally would just kind of fall because it would be so silky or it would be so heavy. So that memory shaper creates that little bit of memory, that little bit of texture to pretty much like keep the hair where I want it to stay, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that we've got her hair all sectioned, we're gonna start in the middle, and I'm just going to take a little section. We're gonna start creating some texture in the crown area. And I always like to make sure that I keep very smooth, frizz-free sections. And one of my favorite products to use for that is the Schwarzkopf OSIS Tame Wild. This stuff is so amazing. If you do not have this in your bridal hair kit, you need it. It is so good. So I'm going to just put a little bit of that on my fingertips so you guys can see how much that is. And then you just want to work it into your hands basically until it's completely dissolved, until you can't see the white anymore. And then you want to just evenly coat and disperse it throughout the hair. and smooth any frizzies down. And what that does is just help the little hairs to stick together and create a nice smooth canvas. So I'm gonna work that through the ends. And also it's creating a little bit of texture. There are many other different products that you can use for this. And sometimes I'll alternate them, and depending on the hair texture, hair type, I will use different things. I also like to use the Paul Mitchell Invisible Cloud Whip for this. This is awesome too. It helps to smooth, adds a little bit of shine, but adds like the perfect amount of texture to the hair. Okay, so then after we have that all smooth, and I'll turn her this way, that way you can see about how much hair I've taken, just that middle part. And then I'm going to give it a little twist. And then I'm gonna take a French pin, which is just a really wide open. And I'm just going to plop that in there. And it's actually kind of a thick section. I'm gonna do another one. And these are not gonna stay in the hair. They're just meant to hold the hair in place until we get everything gathered and pulled back how we want it. Once I've got, let me do one more pin. Once I've got this secured, I'm gonna go ahead, hold it, and then I'm going to pinch and pull out some texture and volume around the crown area. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to move to the side. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my next section here. Again, making sure I keep all that hair forward that's supposed to be forward. And just going to take this top section here and give it a little twist. Actually, first I'm gonna put a little bit more of that Tame Wild in the hair, just to make sure everything stays smooth and shiny and polished while still having texture. And all of these products that I'm putting in the hair are, like I said, adding a little bit of texture, yet it's keeping the hair polished. But these products will also help to hold the style. So I'm gonna give it a little twist and grab another French pin and just lock it in one of the other French pins just to hold it. I'm gonna place my finger there and just pinch and pull out some texture and volume. And as I'm doing this too, I like to kind of stand back and make sure the shape is looking how I want it, make sure everything's looking even, and also make sure that we have the amount of volume that I want in the hair. Okay, now we're gonna work on this side. Going to grab the remaining section here. And let me just grab a little bit more. Making sure everything stays smooth. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the Tame Wild. Doesn't take much. And then I'm gonna run my hands through the hair, make sure everything is nice and smooth. And then give this a little twist, bring it down into the rest. And I'm just going to place one French pin right into the other sections. I'm gonna hold it there lightly and pinch and pull out some texture. Perfect. Okay. All right, so now we have our crown area all pulled, and it's pulled low because we are gonna create that low bun. So now I'm gonna take a bobby pin and a clear elastic band, put that one on, and then I'm going to put another bobby pin so you can see this is what it looks like. and we're going to secure this whole area down here. So I'm going to tighten the corners a little bit, or the sides. I'm going to take the end, like the beginning of where this side starts, and feed it that way, and then back into the hair, and then just push it straight in. And then this bobby pin will come around to the other side, and I'm going to just crisscross those. And now it's locked in nice and tight. So now I can go in and very carefully just remove those French pins. And now it's all nice and secured. And then at this point, you want to make sure that the texture and the volume is exactly how you want it. It shouldn't have moved much when we secured this. But now I can take a step back and picture how it's going to look when I have my bun, and determine if this is going to be enough volume or if I need more, because at this point it's still very easy to pull out, but it becomes more of a challenge once you get your bun all pinned or you start pinning your bun. So you definitely want to make sure that you have this all pulled out now. All right, that looks good. So now we're going to start creating that bun. So we're going to take, oh, there's another pin. So we're going to take this back section and just split it in two. And you want to make sure that this is nice and combed, and work with a light hand when you are brushing and combing, working through and up to. You don't want to brush just through the hair. You want to carefully handle the hair, because if you brush too hard, too quickly, it might start pulling hairs through the crown area, pull them down. And before everything is securely pinned, you want to be mindful of how you're working through the hair. So I'm just going to place this half over her shoulder, and we'll work on that in a minute. I'm going to grab a little bit more of the Tame Wild. Make sure this hair is nice and smooth. Just work it through the hair and smooth everything down all the way through the ends. Work it into the hair. Okay, make sure the underneath, and especially whenever you are doing a bun, low bun like this, or you are going to have a style that shows the sides, a lot of times people can have really wacky things going on back here that can be very coarse and curly and frizzy. So you want to make sure to take extra precaution, and a lot of times you'll have to blow dry the perimeter, make sure it's nice and smooth, and also use certain products to smooth it out to keep it from getting frizzy. So keep that in mind whenever you are doing a style that is going to show the nape of their neck or around their hairline. Okay, so we've got that all worked through, and then I'm going to start twisting it. And as I'm twisting it, I'm still going to be smoothing. So we're twisting and smoothing at the same time. And then I'm going to bring it up and around. And I'm just going to place my hand there, keep twisting, and then I'm just going to pull that out a little bit, and then I'm going to start pinning it. So I still have the tail in my hand, but I want to start pinning this bun. And as I'm pinning, I am keeping my pins closed. I'm not opening them, and I'm just sliding them in. And you can feel as soon as you slide them in how tight it is. Like it's locking it in place. If you open the bobby pin, a lot of times what happens is it catches too much hair, and when it stays open, or when you put it in the hair being open, it's just gonna fall out. So you just wanna slide it in, and then we're gonna continue to work. And I'm just going to twist, and then as I twist, I wanna pull out that twist just a little bit. And going to secure that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Take a little bit of the Tame Wild, run it through and smooth any frizz all the way to the ends. And then I'm gonna spray a little bit of the Morrocan Oil Luminous Hairspray on the bun just to help keep any of that frizz down. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, and then with this side, I'm gonna start twisting right on the side and then just incorporating that twist. And again, as I'm twisting, I'm smoothing and twisting. That way it keeps all the frizz down. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit here and then pull this twist out and just start placing that right where I want it. And I'm gonna grab my comb and just make sure that this all stays nice and smooth as I'm twisting. If you hear little baby noises, I now have little Hunter Ruth in here with me. So excuse all those little baby noises. She just woke up from her nap. And then I'm gonna start pinning as I go. And I'm just placing the twist where I think it looks best. You can definitely do it how you want to. I'm gonna keep twisting. I'm going to just slide the pins in. And then I'm gonna twist all the way to the ends. Come back around here. And then the tail ends, I'm just going to hide in the hair. So whether that's coming up and around and tucking it back behind here, or if it ends up towards the bottom, you can tuck it under here, just depending on the length of hair. How you twist it will depend on where you hide them. And I'm just going to secure this up here a little bit more. Perfect. So now we have a little bun in the back that looks like this, and we're going to start working on incorporating the sides. Okay, I'm gonna start working on the sides, taking a little bit more of that Tame Wild, doing the same thing, smoothing out the hair, and then I'm going to start combing it with my fingers and bringing it back so it blends really nicely on the side. I don't want to have any place where you can tell where it's parted. And again, the reason we zigzagged the part at the beginning is because it's going to help it blend a lot nicer. So I'm going to just give it a twist once, and then before I secure it, I'm going to just pinch and pull out some texture, some volume, just like we did in the back, to keep everything looking very cohesive. Make sure she's got some volume in the front. Then I'm going to keep twisting and stick it right behind that bun. It's going to feed right behind. I'm just going to hold it there. I'm going to grab some bobby pins and I'm just going to push them in and secure that twist. Perfect. And then the rest of this twist will just come down and around, and then we're just going to hide the tail ends underneath. Again, as I go, I like to turn and look at all angles, and if there's any places where I feel like the volume needs to be pulled out more, or if it needs to be shaped differently or anything like that, I'll go ahead and do that as I go. So I always look to see, because a lot of times when you finish the style and then look at it and try to tweak it and fix it, then a lot of times that's when it's too late. You can't pull things out. So anyways, I'm going to finish the last side, do the same exact thing that I did on this side, and then I'll show you the after.